All right, we are live with Gauntlet Hangouts. This is the final session of our Dungeon World Gaunt Marches for July. And last week, the video got corrupted, so if you guys are wondering why it skips from 3 to 5, that's why. So,
oh no.
I know I tried to save it like 3 or 4 different methods, everything I could find online, and every time it would just it kept on skipping to every time Harry talked. I don't know what. So we got most of what Harry said. Anyway, so this being our final session, we're going to do, our wishes like we usually do. We'll introduce the characters. Just as a reminder, things to steer clear of is we're not going to do torture. We're not going to do sex on screen. Oh, both of those on screen. And then we're not going to have any violence against children on screen, off screen at all. Let's see. And yeah, let's head over to characters, and we'll talk about your characters, their motivations and hopes for the last session, and we'll take it from there. So Tyler, why don't you get us started?
All righty. I'm playing Lady Camille Didarin, who goes by Millie most of the time, because she's, despite for the company she keeps being sort of an arrogant noble, she's got a real touch for the people. She's an adventuring noble, and as things have gone along, she certainly had to get herself a little dirty in the course of it. She is a spell sword, which means that she is extremely talented and can use her kind of focus, kind of a chi way almost, through her weapon, which she uses a whip. And I picked up in her last upgrade, where it now also has the sword effect, so it is like a lightsaber. It cuts through anything, ignores armor. I picked up, I have my keys, which I'll just very quickly mention, of Key of the Noble, which is refuse orders below me, that sort of thing. Suffer pain to avoid indignity. Let's see. Key of the Lover, which we may see pan out a bit. We've seen that played with, where you fall in and out of love again, or successfully romance former foe. But I picked up a new one, Key of Cunning, which is gain XP when you offer advice to someone and they actually follow it, or when you come up with a plan that helps you or your allies out of a bad situation. And that was I bought off Reckless. I think she's sort of evolving into more of a tactician, is my thought process for her. And we're here at this big finale, so I would kind of, my personal wish is, I would like to see Millie as a little bit more of the tactician, more of the, thoughtful fighter in our group. And I'm really interested to see what's up with that monkey. I want to know. That story of the sky monkey just kills me.
Awesome. Yeah, I think last we saw Millie, she had just gotten put in some bracers, and so we'll see what happens with her. Let's go over to Ruben. Why don't you talk about Dreadwin and his keys and any hopes you have for the session?
So Dreadwin, as usual, is your typical and average Eldritch Mage, as average and typical as that can be. His keys, I had bought off a few of my keys earlier on, so I decided to pick up some other keys, and a lot of them I actually picked up from other characters. So I actually do have the Cunning as well. It's more out of coincidence than anything. Since Dreadwin was sort of stepping into a leadership role, I thought it was the perfect key for the matter. There was also Key of the Reckless, which you literally just talked about, but you didn't describe, so I'll describe it. It's when you act without thinking and things get out of hand, or when your poorly laid plans come to fruition and you somehow benefit while others do not. And then there's Key of the Overlord, which is when you force others to respect your magical prowess, or when your magic causes fear and terror amongst a group of innocents. And so those are my keys. And in terms of wishes, I suppose I don't have any particular wishes, but I'm sort of just expecting this huge finale, and both looking forward to and dreading it. So I don't know what to say.
Hey, that's fine. You're here for the ride, just like me. Cool. I wanted to double check. Okay. Yeah, we're good. Eula, or Harry, why don't you describe Eula for us, and any hopes that you have for the final session?
Eula is an Amazon warrior, actually a ranger, but all of her people are living on the land. Her people were recently dispersed to try to find their oracle, who was stolen by the Sky Monkey. And without their leader, the oracle, they can't. Their community can't exist. So they've all spread to the far corners of the earth looking for the oracle or the Sky Monkey. And Eula is really like reaching out to any straw for clues to the Sky Monkey. She believes that Dreadwin, being blind, might have a special connection or touch to be able to see this Sky Monkey. And she believes the story that Rukau told last time, that the giant primordial hobgoblin forms the earth, and we railed at the Sky Monkey together. And she's also starting to form this strange relationship with the lady Camille. We'll see where that goes. In terms of hopes, I don't really expect the whole Sky Monkey thing to wrap up in a nice bow. I think that's asking too much. But I think just more mechanics toward the mythology is my hope.
And it looks like you've got, let's see, you're sick from a session or two ago, so just keep that in mind. I think it's already marked on your sheet, right?
Yeah, that's from being breathed on by the rat.
Oh, yeah, it was from going through that tunnel with the smoke.
Oh, right, it's fumes, right. Yeah.
All right, and Adam, why don't you introduce us to Rukau and let us know what he's hoping for this session?
He or me? Rukau Uktashkula is fun to say. And he is a hobgoblin, expansionist, harper of his own great deeds, and contender as before. And he is interested in finding out something definitive about Eli, especially since he seems connected to my people. So whether he's a problem that we need to trying to address or release unwittingly, whatever, that's fine. So mostly my wishes are, I hope that we make a, I don't know, like political splash of some sort, which I'm guessing we will. And that's all I hope. I'd like to know a little bit more about the Sky Monkey too, but I don't expect that to be wrapped up like Harry said. Yep.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds awesome. And just to be sure, you don't have any contracts right now, right? I think the last contract you had was with the sheriff.
Yep, versus the rat dragon.
Just wanted to be sure of that. Okay, well, let's remind ourselves of the situation we were in. I took as best of notes as I could, but not being able to listen to the session, you guys help me refresh my memory if I say anything unclear or incorrect. Looks like we're going to have a storm. Hopefully I don't lose power. All right. So last we saw all of you, you had marched with great fanfare holding this statue of a hobgoblin holding a snake over his head. It's bejeweled and bedazzled and glorious and hopefully worth a lot of money for you guys. You guys marched into the town of Alameen with that over your head, also armed with, I believe you guys brought the scrolls that proved that Sheriff Taliesin, was not of the lineage of Eli like he claimed. And so you guys got into the main square, kind of the rich part of town. Yes.
I forgot we also paraded the rat dragon head around.
Yes, perfect, thank you. Yeah, and so you were like both bragging that you'd killed the rat and you'd gotten this loot, and then you confronted the sheriff. And so Millie had gone up, there's kind of like a balcony with dual steps coming down. Millie had gone up there to talk to the sheriff and whisper in his ear and kind of push him towards accepting an offer for battle from Rukow.
The full Lady Macbeth.
Precisely. And Rukow challenged Sheriff for, I guess, the leadership of the town. Is that right?
Yeah, loyalty of the people who had been following somebody who couldn't solve their problem forever and didn't have a legitimate claim.
Yep, perfect. He slid down magnificently in his codpiece down one of the railings, accepted the duel, drew his sword, made some accusations against you of disloyalty and basically being evil. Now, rich and poor are around. They've made a pretty big circle. They don't want to get involved with the fight. We also saw the High Priestess and some of her band. They're wearing robes. I think we said they're blue robes, and they always have this blue kind of paint on their face to show their loyalty to Nutu, the goddess of caring and taking care of the weak. Let's see. Millie was just bound up, hands clasped behind her back in iron bonds. She's standing next to the first and second lieutenant, and then there's guards down those stairs. And I think everybody else, I don't think we ever explicitly said, Eula and Dreadwind, where are you guys standing as this all shakes down? Have you guys kind of melted into the crowd, or are you right there next to him, Rukow?
Go ahead, Ruben.
I don't know how I somehow managed to speak up at the exact moment that you did. How did these things happen? I'm sorry. But Dreadwind is, I never explicitly said where he was. In fact, I said he's probably best not to get involved in this, but logically he probably went into the crowd at some point.
And Eula is probably at the edge of the crowd, not right up with the other two, but she's got an action that she wants to take that will move her away from there rapidly. Okay.
Yeah, let me know what you're planning, and then I've got one more question before we kind of get everything rolling.
Okay. My plan is to send the little rat folk who are following us off into the crowd with the instructions to start cheering Rukow and get the crowd riled up. And then I will be finding the nearest tall thing, like a statue or a terrace or something to climb up on to get a good shot.
Okay. Yeah, I can't believe I forgot to mention the Ratkin people. I'm glad you reminded me. If you guys want to take a look in the NPCs tab, I gave them some descriptions and such, and we named them all. I thought it was kind of cute. I had one of them adopt the name of Ratcow, as in like mimicking Rukow. So they really like you. And then there's a kind of just a picture of what they all look like, just very generally speaking. So. All right, hold on 1 second. Let me make sure. Did everybody get the link for the roll for your party as well? Cool. Okay, so why don't we have Harry? Why don't you roll?
I think I need that link. Oh no, I have it. Never mind. Sorry.
Okay. Harry, why don't you make a roll to send them around to help stir up the crowd in excitement for Rukow. So what you'll do is you'll roll plus their loyalty, which is 2, and they'll do their best at that.
Okay. Slowly getting up the room. I'll just go ahead and roll regular dice in the meantime. Yeah, so I'm trying to get them. I've been trying to position myself as their Rukau's second in command to the rat people, and I rolled a 3.
All right.
Plus 2 is 5.
Okay, so still fail. And then you're really life. You can get up in a position. You want to just, I'm kind of imagining this like Aladdin style, you know, how he'd be like up on a balcony. Maybe there's a little thing if you want to jump down later. There's like a cloth tent or something below you. Sound good, Eula?
That sounds great.
Cool. Are you drawing a bow, lining up a shot at this point, or are you just...
I am. And in fact, I'm aiming directly at those lieutenants that are holding Mila. My intention, whenever I get a chance, is to put arrows into their the cloth on their shoulders. Start with one of them, pinning him to the wall behind him so that he doesn't have control over Mila.
Cool. Let's have a roll for how well you're able to disguise this. So either your wisdom or your dexterity, I think, would be appropriate here.
I'm not trying to disguise it.
Oh, so they'll probably be able to spot you up on the balcony then.
That's all right. I mean, there's a whole crowd. If they want to concentrate on me,
you're more than happy.
Fine.
Cool. Yeah, I'll let you know when it's a good time to roll that then. All right, let's take a look at Millie and her situation. So they've just clasped these iron bonds on you. You took the papers up there, right, with you?
Mm-hmm.
So one of the lieutenants is taking the papers from you, and as he looks at him, he kind of mumbles, "We got to get rid of these," and takes a half a step, away. You know what his intention is, right?
Yeah, he's going to destroy these. I'm going to kind of look at these guys that have caught me. You really should not do this. You're going to have a new leader. I really suggest that you release me and hold on to those papers, or I'm going to have to stop you. And as that's going on, I'm mentally having Blaze set down that big, huge statue it was carrying around behind kind of where Rukau is starting to fight, and it's dropped down. And we see Blaze sort of slither a little bit away, crackling with energy.
Awesome. Yeah, in response, the lieutenant who's still at your side is going to say, "Listen, sweetie, there's not going to be a change of power. There's not going to be any difference except you're going to be our plaything." And let's cut from there to Dreadwin. Dreadwin, as you kind of step back into the crowd, what are you wanting to do?
Dreadwin is sort of just analyzing the situation, trying to see if any side is trying to pull anything in particular. That's all he can really do at this point. He knows that he doesn't have any intention to summon anything in this entire thing, but if he catches anything in particular, he might be able to manipulate some flesh or mess with some minds, if you will.
Cool. So is there anything, any direction in particular he's looking, or is it just like assessing the whole situation?
I think that he's mainly looking at Millie because he trusts that Rukau can handle whatever dirty tricks the sheriff might pull, even if there are none or any. So he's more looking at the captivity and seeing if they're going to say either put her away in the meantime or do whatever or keep her out there.
Cool. Why don't you roll a discern realities?
Hold on. Yeah, that's a 6.
Oh,
the game hasn't even started, and we're already.
Yeah, we've already got two 6s. That's okay. I like that. All right. Finally, let's take a look at Rukau. you've just been accused of being disloyal, of turning down land and gold and wealth and position, and that you're actually here to harm the people. And so Sheriff Towson will deal with you one-on-one. And I think he had drawn his blade, and he's standing a few paces away from you. What are you doing?
I think he had asked me to choose my weapon, and so I have my typical sturdy long spear, and I will, in fact, like look around at the people and sort of flip it point down and like clasp it like a great quarterstaff. So it's just the blunt end on the other end, because I don't need the full actual weapon for this guy. And yeah, I'll just declare, I'm glad you saw fit to put your might where your mouth is and face the facts that you are not listed in the line of Eli, and that I don't need any titles from you, because I will be protecting this land by the might of my people and the might of the great hobgoblin of this world that I now believe in, I guess. And I'll look at Alana, I think is her name, the deer lady, and kind of just quirk an eyebrow, like, does it count if it's big in public, or did it have to be a nice little backstab?
She gives you a very small but like affirming nod, as if to say, like, do it. You here's your chance.
Okay. Does she have an entourage of other priests?
Yeah, there's priests and priestesses gathered around her, all in those same robes with the hoods and such.
Okay. And then does he have a sword and a shield, or just a sword, or what did you say? Oh, he has a...
Yeah, he's just got a rapier is what he uses.
Oh, okay. Oh, fencer. Okay. So yeah, I suppose just... What?
Are you keeping your shield as well?
I mean, unless it seems dishonorable to, but he has a choice to choose a shield and he didn't. So yeah, I think I'll keep it. I was going to say my first move would be to show myself as a protector and just use my shield and bang his sword out of the way and see if I can sweep his leg or something humiliating.
So not necessarily trying to hurt him, but just embarrass him?
Yeah, like, wrestlers, professional wrestlers have to work the crowd first.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get 2 rolls on the table right now. Eula, it sounds like you're going to be doing a called shot on the lieutenant closest to Millie. Is that right? And then...
I'm preparing for that, but until blows are struck.
Oh, so you're going to wait for the combat to start. I was thinking...
I guess if Rukau is starting by, pushing the shield aside, then yeah, that's a good time to try to free Millie. But I won't start things.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so then let's just get Rukau's roll on the table. Let's have you roll plus your charisma to shame this guy in front of his town.
Sorry, that broke up. Did you say charisma?
Yeah.
Okay. Seven.
All right, so as you come in for blows, you're trying to kind of knock him and trip him to the ground, right?
Yeah, just bang his little sword away and trip him and basically say, pick a real weapon.
Cool. Yeah, so that happens as you say, but the crowd actually, some of the crowd boos, and they're like, drop your shield, cheater, he's a cheater. And so as the sheriff is on the ground, like he starts to pick himself up and he says, I said a weapon. And so part of the crowd is on your side. Part of the crowd is clearly thinking that you're trying to pull something here, going in full armor against a man with just a sword.
That's fair. I'll abide by that. And I'll look around to see if any of my friends are around, mainly Dreadwin. because I gave him my shield last time back when I was in the against Baji or whatever. I forget. So we'll have a little motif callback. So would you mind taking my shield, Dreadwind?
I mean, I'm somewhere within the crowd, sort of.
Oh, you blended back. If I can't see you, then
can we actually say you see me and just do a dramatic toss into the crowd, like just toss it, like
yeah, trust.
Sure, let's do that.
And hope you can catch it. It's kind of
cool.
The blind man catching it. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yes. Dreadwind.
When you're looking around for Dreadwind, you also see your ratkin friends. They're like climbing up on people's shoulders and like talking to people. They're all over the place, and you see them scattered about. Now, let's go back to Millie. So Millie, you see him start holding these papers over the fire. Are you going to do anything to try and stop that?
Yeah, I got to try and stop that. So as I look over there and see that, I Blaze to me and open my hand, and Blaze appears in my hand, and the tail of it whips around, cutting the chains between my bonds, and I'm going to twirl straight over there, and I'm going to try and wrap him so I can put him in stasis till I can get in a better position.
Sweet. So it sounds like probably dexterity. A defy danger with dexterity.
Okie doke. Okay. Pull those down. Oops. Boop, boop. Move that third one off a little bit. There we go. Five, 6, 7.
Cool. All right. So yeah, you're going to be able to get him in stasis. The cost is you get to choose. Either you can only hold the stasis for 1 or 2 moments, or you're not going to be able to dodge the blow from the guy behind you. He's going to get you pretty hard with the polearm.
I think I'm going to have to take the hit. It just makes sense. If I can stasis him, then we can deal with something on him later, but I'll have to take the hit.
Cool. Go ahead and take D8 damage from the lieutenant that's still next to you.
All right. 7. Oof. My armor applies, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not excellent. That's still 6. Ouch.
And Eula, whenever you are ready to make your shot, just interrupt, okay? All right, let's go back down to the main duel. So you've cast your shield aside. He's back on his feet. Listen, you miscreant, you scum. I'm going to take this blade and I'm going to ram it straight through your heart. And he lunges at you. Let's just roll a hack and slash.
Uh, 6 plus 2, 8.
Awesome. So you'll be able to trade damage with him. He's going to deal a D10. You could deal your damage as well, and then just narrate for us what it looks like.
Okay. That is a 3 damage. He does what? A D10? What did you say? Did I lose you?
He said 10.
It is a D10.
Yeah, D10. Sorry, I was in the middle of a drink.
Oh, yeah. No problem. Paul. All right. So 4 from him and 3 from me. So I suppose we scuffle. I mean, a staff versus a rapier doesn't really work. So he gets some lunges in between little pieces of my armor that make some blood. But I also get a few good cracks with my messy, forceful staff. So I knock him back. He charges back. He's more relentless than I anticipated. We kind of give each other bruises and cosmetic blood.
Cool. Is there a particular place on his body that you bloodied up so far? Remember, he's got a breastplate, so it's probably not like his torso, but an arm or even his face, you think?
I think I'd be battering at the back of his legs, probably. Like, I'm more limber than you'd expect in all this armor because I'm a hobgoblin. So I'd maybe roll out of the way and like smack his hamstrings or something, because that's more embarrassing.
Gotcha. Yeah, the cheers and boos come up from the crowd. It's still a pretty good split. Now, Dreadwind, as you're in the crowd there, you feel hands come and grab both of your arms at the same time, and somebody else grabs your fruit like this, and they're starting to drag you away. What are you doing?
I don't know who this is, but I don't think Dreadwind's going to take this shit. So I'm going to have basically, I'm going to start trying to warp their flesh to a point where I'm just going to try to like take the arm off my mouth, and it's going to just start shoving into their own face. Like just indiscriminately, like shoving into their face.
Okay. Now, are you able to cast your spells without your
Yeah,
mouth?
it's all in the eye.
Ah, I see. Okay. Let's get a cast a spell roll. It sounds like, or are you trying to have him injure himself more than anything?
I think it could go either way. I am trying to get him off me at one point.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It sounds a little more like effect than it is an attack. Cool. Yeah, go ahead and cast a spell.
Yeah, so I'm basically just gonna. I think since I'm gonna go for an effect, I guess I'll make it more dramatic. Like his skin is starting to wrap around him, almost like he's mummifying himself, almost.
Yeah, I like that.
That is a total of. Give me a second. Gosh damn it. 7.
Did you roll the 4?
Yeah, +3.
I thought you were at a -1 still.
We resolved that, didn't we? That was from the whole rat thing.
Oh, okay. Okay, sure. Okay, so it works, and let me see. You're going to have to act quickly to take advantage of it, and then you're going to draw attention to yourself, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'll be unforeseen side effects and temporary. So the crowd around you starts spreading out and like screaming and babies crying as this man's arm like bends backwards, like out of its socket, and then just starts wrapping itself around him. And pretty soon he's like completely mummified and falls to the ground. He's still screaming his head off though. And this is the first time you'll get a look at it. It's the people in the blue robes are the ones who are trying to take you. Now, since it's let's see. So that gives you a half a second while his friends like let go as well. And they're like, oh my gosh, James. And then, so you've got a half a second to kind of react to this. We'll get back to your reaction in a moment. Eula, are you ready to take that shot? Things are
yeah. I think as Eula was shocked to see Millie so easily get out of her predicament, and then shocked again to see that guard bash into her back, but now she's mad. And so she's, I don't know if the guard who just attacked Millie is still in a position that I could, well, yeah, I will try to immobilize him by non-lethally pinning him to the furniture or the wall or whatever.
So you're going for the one that cracked her in the back, not the one who's holding the papers, right?
Well, as I understand it, the one that is holding the papers is frozen for the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So yeah, I'm going for the other one. So I'm rolling the yellow ones. I get a 6 plus Dex is 2. That's an 8.
Awesome.
And on a cold shot, I guess would count that. as the legs because I'm trying to slow them down,
Okay.
or the head.
Either makes sense to me. And are you still sticking with the fiction, like you're pinning his clothes to the ground there?
Yeah, yeah. I'm not, unlike certain wizards, I'm trying to give our group a good relationship with the populace. So we'll just count it as the head. On a 7-8, they do nothing but stand and drool for us. So he's stuck for a few minutes.
Yeah, he's dropped his pole arm. He's like tugging at his cape. He may even have to take the time to unclasp it. Cool. Now, Rukau, I'm betting you're probably still unaware of all this going on around you. He's kind of circling you and giving you the time to make the next move, since he wasn't effective when he lunged last. What are you doing?
Yeah, so I was playing with him before now, but I don't want to be seen as a trickster or dirty myself, and so I will finally take up my spear with both hands, because I normally don't do that with my shield, and I forgot I could. And was raising the crowd's attention. So now I'll take it with both, and basically I can easily hold him at bay, and I'll kind of back him back up the stairs where he slid down if possible, and basically just be jabbing at his ribs and abdomen or whatever where he allows. And then once we're kind of halfway up, I'll just try to go for a big swing, knock him off the side if possible, see what happens.
Cool. Yeah, sounds like hack and slash.
A bit more direct. That is a 13.
Beautiful.
I'll take the damage if I can do more, though. Is that an option?
Let's say as you back him up, you get a couple of good jabs in, and it hurts him. And as you're getting ready to try and knock him off, that's when he gets a slice at your arm.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll all the damage, and then I'll let you know if he gets knocked off or not based on the damage.
Okay, sweet. And his is D10 again? Okay.
So you dealt him 8?
So I did 8, and he did 8 back to me.
Ooh. Okay.
Minus 2 armor.
Yeah, let's say that he's not completely off, but you've knocked him so his back is on the rail, and he's definitely got to be has to have one hand on there. You've got him in a very precarious position.
Can we say that his jab made me bleed, and then he flourished and cut off my top knot?
Ooh, yeah. If you want to do that, that sounds great.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking as your top knot falls to the ground?
It feels kind of like a disconnection from my clan, like I'm going independent now, or Ronin or something, more than I was as an exile. And so I see it fall there, and I kind of get distracted, and it maybe gives him a chance to scrabble another hand up. And maybe my close-up of my eyes get a little red, and then they sort of soften and get kind of teary and soft, which is unusual, I suppose.
Yeah, you're
like shamed, maybe.
Yeah, you're feeling that shame. Probably the similar feeling when your children took over the clan from you, right?
Yep.
Cool. So let's go back over to Millie. What are you up to here? You've got one in stasis and one that's struggling next to you. Remember, there are other guards around, but just the lieutenants is what you've been dealing with so far.
Are the other guards looking like they're coming at me? Are they?
Let's say let's just give this a name. So left stairwell is where Rukau is, and they're all gathered around watching that up close. They're like, hoo, 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 real excited. The right stairwell, they're starting to walk towards you, but they're not looking terribly urgent. I don't think they understand what a threat you are yet.
All right, and the other one is pinned, correct? All right. I have him stasis next to what, a brazier or a torch, or he was going to burn them, you said?
Yeah, I was thinking there were probably some braziers up by the doorway.
All right. I think with that guy not able to come after me, I'm going to rush over and like do a flying leap to kick the brazier that he was going to burn it off the back of this. You said it was like a diaz, right? Or is it the front porch of the town hall? I want to burn down the town hall.
Oh, you are going to try and light the building on fire? Then.
No. I'm saying I'm trying to just knock it off to the side. I don't want to burn down their town hall. That might go over poorly.
It's not my turn yet.
And you don't have to do something terrifying though. So are you trying to like knock it towards those guards that are moving your way?
Yeah, that'll probably at least slow. That's going to catch this whole thing on fire though, isn't it?
So if this is the porch and this is like the building and the door, this is the courtyard. I'm kind of imagining it like kicking it over on this, that area of the porch.
That should be able to be put out fairly easily. Yeah, I'll kick it over there to slow their advance as I'm going to get myself right there next to him, kicking the thing over. To the guy holding stuff.
Oh, I think the detail that we're missing. I never said this is like it's more of like a fortress type building. It's like sandstone or something. It's not wood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Awesome. Then yeah, I'm kicking that over at them as I get beside him and setting myself so that next time I can unstace him and grab those papers from him and then do whatever I have to do.
Let's have a strength roll to see how far that goes if you actually catch any of the guards or just kind of make it there.
Okay. Let's see. How am I on strength? I'm not horrible. 0. Alrighty. Down here. Oh. That's a 9.
Cool. So yeah, it's gonna actually, let's say, catch the lieutenant who's like yanking at his cape, and it lights the cape enough that it tears really easily. And he's like stamping it. He's torn it off and is stamping it on the ground. So I guess that's the bad thing, is that he's ready. He's back and ready for the action. So let's take our attention back to Dreadwind. You had a few moments that you caused of terror that give you an opening. What are you doing with that opening?
So Dreadwind quickly turns around and just holds out his hand and he says, just halt. The spell is temporary and I'll go with you as long as you do not touch me.
I don't think you even need to parlay on that. I think they'll take that. Between the writhing flesh mummy. And yeah. So you're gonna leave the scene here with them then?
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, Dreadwind is quite curious as to what the heck this is about. And if anything goes wrong, he could just wreck the entire building that they're in.
Lovely. All right, so we'll catch up with you in a minute. Eula, what are you doing up from your vantage point?
I'm up at a high vantage point, right? And I've seen things are kind of under control with Millie. And Rukau's like a cat playing with his toy. But I have a chance to look around, and I see this commotion down there with Dreadwind and some people in blue. And I'm looking at the people who are trying to accost him, and over at the priestess, and trying to make out whether they are actually a part of the group. Does she know what's going on? What is really taking place here? Are we being had in a big way?
Cool. Let's have you roll a discern realities. I'll give you a little bit of fiction no matter, but go ahead and get that on the table.
All right.
So you do see the high priestess and one of her attendants walking up the steps. In fact, now I'm getting it confused. The right-hand steps, the ones that Millie just kicked the fire towards, they're walking very calmly and elegantly, up those steps. The rest of her people, are nowhere to be seen. There was a group of 10 or 15 of them, and now the only ones you see are the ones by Dreadwind and the ones on the steps. What was your role?
Well, you see, the thing with Eula is that she's grown up in the swamp with a very small community, and she's just not used to city life. So that's a total of 5.
Okay, you feel hands around each of your arms and a hand over your mouth and a hard blow to your head, and you're out cold.
Wow, nice.
Can I just say that this is the second time Lula has been unconscious?
Oh, yeah, that's true. How do you feel about being knocked out, Eula? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, meta-wise, it's fine. Eula, of course, doesn't want to be knocked out, but it's not like I feel...
It was just hilarious. I thought it was just funny. Like, is this becoming a bit?
I'm thinking back to the Discern Realities where they were talking about like having somebody drop their sword all the time, and I'm like, oh crap, did I become that guy?
No. This is totally appropriate.
All right, yeah. So you're being dragged away unconscious. All right, let's come back over to Rukau. Now, last we saw you, you were kind of like teary-eyed, looking at your top knot on the ground. You're standing over him. Excuse me, the sheriff, who's up, like leaning half a moment from falling off, half a moment from falling on the ground where you can give him a finishing blow. And he shouts, "Stop! Stop!" And you hear bowstrings creak over your right, or over your left-hand side. If you glance up, the people on this fortress are pointing 5 or 6 arrows at you. What do you do?
Only 5 or 6. Just to clarify, we were going up the steps. Are these broad, like temple steps, like big long ones?
They're probably like 4 people abreast. Like this is supposed to be the showiest part of town. Yeah.
Okay, so we're on the same steps as the Brazier and Alana and all the rest of that?
No, they're on the opposite set. So there's two sets coming down, and you're on this one, and this one, and the Brazier got tipped over that direction.
Got it. Okay, I was picturing more like a whatever. Yeah. Yep. So I'll look at them, and I was seeing in him like myself being defeated by my kids, and so I was feeling paternal to him, strangely, reversedly, and wanting to show impressiveness, but also like honor. And so I was about to reach out my hand and like help him up and like give him his sword back or whatever, do that whole thing. And then he says stop and pulls this, and now I don't know what to do. I will say you still have time to surrender, and I'll flip my spear back around to its point and point it at his neck, and then basically turn to everybody and say, I think the Sheriff Taliesin has something the former Sheriff Taliesin has something he would like to announce, and trying to basically put egg on his face. So I don't know what that is.
I think let's have you roll a Defy Danger with Charisma, because I forgot to describe it, but you were starting to win the crowd, especially with that last roll, beating him back and getting him in obviously a losing position.
So
let's
I also have the commanding presence when I command those who are smaller or have lower social status to do whatever I like. I can bully or threaten them. I don't know if he counts as smaller or lower social status yet. If not, I'm cool with just Defy Danger.
I think not quite yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So charisma. 7, just squeaking by.
Okay. As you make this little speech and kind of shame him, you hear quite a lot of laughter from the crowd. and he says, "My announcement is to arrest this creature." And some guards are going to come around you with the iron clasps. Let's cut to Millie because this is going to be happening simultaneous to that. Millie, what are you doing now?
All right. I think I'm going to... Millie's there. He's stasised, holding these things as though we were going to that brazier. And we see Millie sees what's going on there, and you see her sort of focus. And the whip glows, and she starts to glow, and she starts to almost vibrate. And I'm going to try and do spell focus. I'm working to speed myself up.
Okay.
Which is in my purview. With the concept that as soon as I do that, I'm going to unstasis, grab the papers, and kind of leap to the side, preparing myself to be in defense of Rukau, especially if these guys up on the wall fire, because then I'll have my whip ready and I can be in defense. So that's my hope.
Yeah, that sounds great.
So I should roll my spell focus.
Yep.
Here we go. Had I built the character better, I would be better at this. 6, 7.
Awesome. So
for the +1 for focus.
Yeah, you got your +1 for focus, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So you will be able to get the papers and get to Rukau's side. Even like you'll probably arrive there right as Sheriff Taliesin is announcing, like, my declaration is that he's arrested. In the process, though, you're gonna drop an item of gear. You're moving real quick. I think you're going to drop your bandages on the ground there on the steps.
All right.
All right. So, yeah, we've got this dramatic moment shaping up. He's ordered your arrest, and now Millie, with you aside, Rukau, you can only assume he's probably going to have you arrested as well. Are you guys going to go calmly or?
Hell no. I mean,
it'll take them a few seconds to get to us. They can shoot all they want. Bring on the volley.
Take them.
Okay.
By the way, I should mention something. So
Yes.
Dreadwin, when he was gone, handed the shield over to one of the rats.
Two.
Yeah, however many decide to carry it. They'll probably swarm over it, just fawning over it. But
I think 4 of them all holding it up in the air might be able to.
yeah, so if you ever need that, let's have a reverse frisbee if you ever need it back.
Yeah, why don't you roll to give them an order? So roll plus their loyalty, which is 2. We'll see if it makes it all the way to him by this time.
Me or him?
You're giving the order.
All right, sure. I rolled an 8 plus 2. All right, cool.
Sweet. Yeah, so you'll see your shield within reach if you'd like to grab that in the next few moments here. All right, yeah, they're advancing with their class. What do you said you're going to resist? How are you doing it? What does it look like, guys?
I think I would just say, this duel is not over. Dishonor and disgrace, and then spit. And then I think I would just tell the guards to back off. Now that Millie's here, I can say, you can shoot us if you want, but you'll just waste your arrows. But mostly trying to command them out from under the sheriff, because they are lower status than me, or smaller. They're at least smaller.
What they are definitely both. So yeah, go ahead and bully them.
All right. If any of them get close, I'll just jab them in the stomach.
And Millie, do you want to do anything to aid this?
Yeah, I think I can aid this. I think as he says, shoot your arrows. It's not going to help you. I think Blaze has started spinning above our head, just crackling with energy and light.
Wait,
like those dwarf siege engines in the Battle of Five Armies.
Yeah. Yeah, that's...
All right, so that's a 7 on my own.
I can't help you enough to make a difference.
Let me read your rule or your move one more time.
Oh yeah. They may choose to attack you or flee, but otherwise they will obey your command.
They're going to look at the sheriff, and I'm assuming you're projecting your voice very loudly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They look between the sheriff and you, and then the crowd, and one of them takes like a half a step forward, and the crowd jeers and hoots and hollers, and then two of them take a step backwards, and everybody cheers. They are going to not arrest you, and they're going to tell the sheriff so. Like, we don't dare, sir. Nice use of that move. Let's catch up with Dreadwind real quick.
All
right. So Dreadwind, you're being led along a path. There's about 10 or so of these priestesses with you. It goes up into the rocky hills, back and forth. It winds. It's going to take about an hour to get there. You probably can intuit that you're on the way to the Temple of Nutu. Maybe 10 minutes along the route, somebody shows up with you, mostly asleep and thrown over somebody's shoulder. What do you want to say anything to Eula or do anything on your trek up there?
I just look at the person and just say, was that really necessary?
One of them pulls her hood back, and you recognize the markings that she has. And also,
I may not be able to see them.
Yes, you would not be able to see them.
I may recognize her body structure, though. Like, I may have a mental note of how each one looks if I've seen this person before.
You know what? Let me give you what you will recognize immediately. So you sense somebody kind of pulling back their hood. And we as the audience sees that she's got the same kind of markings that Eula had. And then a monkey, like a spider monkey, climbs up onto her shoulder and whispers something into her ear. And she says to you, Dreadwind, it was absolutely necessary. You see, my kind, we don't go easily. Let's cut back to everybody else. So you guys have obviously won the crowd over. Oh,
can I throw in a little tiny scene right after that spider monkey thing? So you're seeing this procession of people going up toward the temple, and then the camera pans back 100 yards, 200 yards, and you see creeping from bush to bush, rock to rock, 3 furry cats.
How could I forget about the cats? Lovely. All right, let's go back to our 2 fighters. You all have just won the crowd. Sheriff Taliesin is not going to be able to take you into his custody at this point, and has begun to walk away from you back into the manor or into the building. You see the high priestess walk up to him and kind of touch and take a look at his face. He pushes her away, but she starts to follow him. They're going to go in the building. What are you guys doing? Are you, what are you doing?
So he hadn't publicly shown defeat or anything like that?
Nope.
So then I think I would thank Millie for coming, and crowds always like a pretty face. And then I'll call after the priestess the same way as I did the guards, basically, and say, "He's not finished yet. He either kneels or he dies."
She says back to you, he's quite finished. And I think you're quite finished in this town as well. I expect to never see your face again. And winks.
I'm befuddled, I guess, and I'll actually nudge Millie for help. Like, what am I missing?
So let's do a little bit of player talk. So the wink could mean several things. It may mean that she's following him in, and she'll finish the deed, and they'll be able to blame it on the wounds you've inflicted. It may mean some other things too. What are your guys' thoughts? Is that clear? That's kind of what I was trying to portray.
Yeah, I don't know if either one of us quite understand for sure what she has in mind. I mean, I cut my eyes over towards Rukau as well, because I'm used to a duel to the death ending with somebody dying. I mean, that's just kind of in the name and everything. And so I'm given that look of, if you want to charge in there and stab him, then I'm right here with you.
Yeah. So also player talk, like these guards are not going to impede you if you want to move up there and make a move on him.
Sure. So I think Rukau has never been nobility in this land before, and that's why he definitely would take Millie's lead on what being that means. And then I think he would basically take a sense of the crowd, like how bloodthirsty are they? Are they kind of eager for show of dominance like these ratkins, or would they rather a softer hand? I'm really bad at sensing those sorts of things. So
let's get a roll with your oh no, why don't you just do a discern realities to check out the general feeling of the crowd and everything.
And I'll try and aid with that. I would think between the two of us, we're kind of scanning the crowd to see what the mood here is. Again, it's really odd of, arrest them. No, we ain't doing that. Well, screw it. I'm going inside.
Right. And someone else saying that he's done instead of himself. So I would have a 6 by myself.
Well, and I will give a hand. I got an that goes off of what
Wisdom.
we think. Intelligence.
It's either prior experience or charisma. Yeah, probably your.
Discern
going based on
realities
wisdom.
is wisdom.
Yeah, I did
Yeah,
wisdom.
but this is an aid roll.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's probably your wisdom as well, since you guys are talking about it.
Then I have a 7.
Okay, so you give him the one that he needs just to push it over the edge. Okay, so you get one question. What's your question going to be?
Would killing Taliesin endear these people to the influx of my people or not?
So that kind of sounds like who's really in control.
Oh, sorry. I have to pick an actual question.
No, you're fine. I think that'll give you the answer you're looking for, though. So,
Sure.
You have the heart of the people, so they seem to respect your decision at this point.
Since Eli is this ominous figure that does weird things that ought not to be done to dead bodies, and he was a Nutu follower, I'm not too fond of that religion right now. And the shady priestess who wanted an undermining instead of an outright killing. So yeah, I'm just going to pick up my shield because it's there and bang it, and then charge in and hope no priestesses have to be pushed aside to finish the task. Because I'm guessing Taliesin's not ready to actually abdicate. So
okay, so there's going to be a couple of dangers in your way. The first danger is his lieutenants are still up there on the step with him, so you may have to find a way past them. But also, these archers are still trained on you, so they're going to let loose. What are you doing to dodge or stop the arrows from killing you?
Raise my shield and Millie. Yeah.
If I can, I'd like to do my since I was swinging my whip around there, I'd like to do my counterspell strike, but it also works on ranged attacks.
Sounds great. Yeah.
So I can at least try and pull some of them off of this.
Millie?
Dex. 11, 12, 13.
Ooh. Yeah, with the 13, 5 arrows fly and 5 arrows get split in half. And there's probably like a little flash of light as each of them gets cracked, right?
Yeah, that little burst of energy as they go. So little fireworks over Rukau's head.
Cheers. The ratkin start like clamoring at, they're grabbing at your legs. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! They are endeared to you too now. So Rukau, what are you doing about the lieutenants that are still up there?
I already tried to cow them once before, and just to be more dramatic with Melee, let's say I had to dive flat out to get my shield, and so my back was all exposed to all the arrows, and I trusted that you would take care of that. And then I roll when I pick it up, and then have it backwards, so I'm holding the back of it. And I think I would just look at him like, seriously, do you want to stand in my way? And if not, I'll just hold it like a snowplow and just push him to either side. And see how that goes.
It sounds like a defy danger with your constitution, since you're just relying on your brute mass. Does that sound good to you, or would you rather do strength?
I mean, statistically, it's the same. Let's do it. It's the same. And okay. I'm guessing if the shield counts as a weapon, I'm just hoping that counts as forceful because that's fun.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Okay. Constitution. 6.
All right. So you bowl into the first one, knocking his spear out of the way, and he goes, head over heels, tumbling backwards. The other one happens to be the other one who got a blow in on Millie as well. Gets a spear straight into your side. You're going to take a D8, and that is 1 piercing.
Okay. Ooh, 7. So -1 only. So I am down to 11.
The sheriff turns around and he spits at your feet, and he says, "Do not touch me again, or I'll have you slain where you stand." The priestess is fleeing at this point. Her and her assistant are running back down the stairs.
Are we cutting?
No,
are we cutting away or not? Okay.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Let's do one more thing, and then we'll take a look at the other two.
Millie, do you want to do anything?
Yeah. So he still has these guards in between him. He's going to have to get through them to get to the sheriff.
Yeah. One of them's got the spear in his side, so that's kind of keeping him at bay from the sheriff. But the other one's knocked on the ground. So
I think my job is to make sure he's got a free path to get up to the sheriff and finish him off. So from that big whirl, I'm going to spin it around and just bring it down to the ground with a big, huge crack. And I'm going to try and spell focus to grant freedom and movement. So I'm going to try and just shove them back so there's this path perfectly heading forward.
Cool.
Let's see if I roll well. Please roll well.
That's like coming up with a plan.
That's an 11.
Oh yeah, this would be a good time to turn that key if you want to tell him your plan as you're doing it. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Rukau, I'll give you the way. Get him. As I make this crack and they fly back and show that to you. Once he's gone, they'll fall into line.
Awesome. Yeah, it's as Millie said. So that whip cracks and the spear comes out of your side, and he takes a stuttering step backwards. The other one on the ground is even pushed further away, and it's just you and the sheriff, feet between you. What do you want to do?
I think just not mess around this time. He's trying to be cheap about it. So I think just do what a spear is good at doing. Spin it around one time because I'm awesome, and then just stab it straight towards his chest. He doesn't have anything to stop it with, I think, besides just a parry.
He has
So-
a codpiece.
No, that's true. Depends on how big his codpiece is.
I think the codpiece extends downwards, so yeah, aim high.
Before I do that too, as I'm spinning it, I'll say, "You could have lived today," and then jab.
Yeah, let's just make that kill him. Like he grabs it to try and stop it, but your force is just too much, and it goes straight through the breastplate, and he like just gurgles, falls to his knees. The lieutenant that was standing takes a knee. The other one removes his helmet and quickly scrambles to a knee. All the guards around take a knee. None of them want to fight you. Let's
I forgot about how messy can mess up armor too. That's a fun thing to do.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Punch him straight through.
So to
His
everybody, I'll just
codpiece
say,
is
it's
very
a new
important.
day. It's a new day today for Alamein.
You guys, yeah, the crowds cheer. The people who are less reticent to cheer for you seem to be dressed more finely, and they start weaving their way through the crowds very quickly. I'm not sure that they trust you yet. Let's take a look at our other friends. You guys have arrived at the temple. Now, Dreadwin, let me know if at any point I'm going to describe some passages, some rooms. If you want to do anything on your way, Eula is still going to be knocked out during this, okay? So you come through the main entrance, and you see the statue that was described before, the altar. There's a couple of rooms off to either side, big pillars, you know how they typically are in temples. And they bring you to the center of the room where there's a large stone carving, and some words are said, and the carving, you know, the lines in it start to glow a faint teal, and then it like spiral opens. Big pieces of stone being pulled out of the way, right? There's a spiral staircase downwards. Are you going to follow them down?
I'm assuming they're taking Eula down anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like there's anything else useful in this place, so yeah.
Okay. So yeah, they take you down. You hear the mechanism lock again above you. As you get to the base of the steps, you know, they've got torches you could see down here, right?
Yeah.
As they get to the base of the steps, it's a hallway that goes two directions. They take you to the right, and passing by, you see a large chamber. There's like small slits of windows as you're walking.
Yeah.
This large chamber, there's clay statues, row upon row upon row upon row. And sitting at the head of the clay statues is a statue that is moving.
What is it? What are these statues' shapes like?
They're humanoid. You're seeing the back of their heads.
It doesn't matter what I'm seeing because I'm not seeing anything. I'm getting the actual shape of them.
Can you believe after 5 rounds, I kept up with that this whole time, and then the 5th time, I forget that you don't see.
I literally don't see. I see by shape. Like, I literally have sound bouncing off the shape. So it doesn't matter if there's front or back, or if they're trying to ambush me from behind.
Yeah, you see humanoid shapes in your mind palace.
It has to be a palace, of course.
Yeah. And then one large humanoid shape sitting on a throne, moving. But you hear the shifting of stone, you know, so you get the impression that this is also a statue that's moving.
Mm-hmm.
If you'd like to, you can roll a discern realities and get a little more information here.
All right, sounds about right. That is a 9, so I get 1 question.
Yep.
Let me see here. Just a second. Sorry, I gotta pull up Dungeon World SRT.
Oh, that's fine. So I think Eula's starting to come to. Things are pretty hazy for you, but Eula, this is the first glimpse you're going to get of the Oracle. Why don't you describe her for us?
Well, so this is not the first time I've seen the Oracle. The Oracle was part of...
Of course, yeah. I guess the first time waking up from your you're
Right.
slung over somebody's shoulder.
Of course, I realize I don't at first realize that I'm waking up. It feels like I'm just hallucinating or dreaming. But the Oracle is simply an old woman, long gray hair, fairly small, in the way that people get smaller as they get older. She's like me, covered in patterns of tattoos and scars, that are, you know, not so much from battle, but more sacramental. From those patterns, you can tell the lineage of a person. So you can tell who their mother was and who their mother's mother was, and how many sisters they have. Of any Amazon, the Oracle is the most tattooed, the most embellished. She also has, like Eula, you'll see the hair of the princess that Eula took before, and some other pieces of hair on her belt. But the Oracle has many locks of hair braided and knotted around her waist. And sometimes she strokes them or touches them in a purposeful way that means something to her. And Eula would tell you that it is a source of power. Her garb is fairly plain, white and red predominantly. And you'll have to tell me what her pose is and what she's doing. I don't know that.
Sure. Yeah. So the clothes that you recognize, she has on underneath this this blue robe. She's at least pretending to be a part of the worshippers of Mutu, if nothing else. And as you start coming to, she says, "Tie her fast. My kind are dangerous." And you feel them starting to knot you with kind of leather straps. Let's, Dreadwin, what question did you want to ask?
Also, I wanted to ask two things, first off, aside from the question. I was going to say, what was the last thing you said? Because I didn't quite get the Oracle's words. What did she say?
Yeah, she just said tie fast. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, the other thing was, what is the description of the Oracle's eyes? Does she have, like, showing, like, eye sockets, or does she have, like, a blindfold? Dreadwin himself wears a blindfold just to, you know, not be horrifying in public.
Yeah. Eula, what do you have to say?
The Oracle is, for all intents and purposes, a normal human or Amazon. So yeah, her eyes are normal unless something has happened.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you were attracted to Dreadwin because he was blind, sort of like the Oracle in a sense. I thought that was a thing.
Oh yes, you're right. She is. I'm sorry, that was part of the mythology from the first session. Yes, so she is old and she has become blind. But her eyes are just sort of milky in that old, blind person way.
Cool.
Now the question I was going to ask is, and more in the context of, Dreadwin is sort of trying to get a sense of what's going on here. Is this like a ritual being prepared? Is this a trap, like an execution sentence or something like that? Are they looking for help? What are these guys' intentions? So with that being said, he's asking, what should I be on the lookout for?
The thing that comes most to mind is you need to be on the lookout for the legion of statues to start moving. That if they begin to move, it'll be a very dangerous place indeed.
So it sort of seems like his sort of knowledge with golemancy and things of the such sort of give him the sense that this is probably one of the worst case scenarios in this place. Okay.
I think that's a very succinct way to put it, yes. That feels like a pretty good first break. So let's take 5. We'll be back at 28. Tyler, if you want to pick up those bandages Millie dropped, you're more than welcome to.
We'll see how it hits. I suppose if I'm close enough, I'll whip, like Blaze over to grab them. But I'm imagining I'm going to be turning around and looking for Eula so that I can smile proudly at how awesome we were. And she won't be there.
Yeah. Yeah. So we will cut back to the two of you on the steps. Cheered, crowd going wild. All the guards kneeling to you. What are you doing from here? You seem to have seized control of the town.
Like I say, I'm going to have that sort of being proud and think I've been impressive and impress the cute girl up there that I know shot to help me, and be starting to look around for our comrades.
Okay, I think let's have a discern realities, and then we'll have you ask a question from there if it works.
Seven, and that's off whiz, isn't it? Yes. So that's not very good. That may be. I think that's a 7. Nope, that's a 6.
Okay, let me think of the time interplay here. Yeah. So they're looking over where Eula was. You don't see her. You see a monkey crawling from like some ropes, rooftop to rooftop, and then heading towards the Red Hills.
Gotcha. So I'm starting to be worried, and I'll wait for Rukau to get his much-deserved laurels.
I have a question.
Yeah.
When I was taken, what happened to my bow and spear? Did they drop them where I was abducted? Are they still on me? Or did they carry them off?
They are not on your person. In a few minutes, when you fully come to, we can have Eula look around.
Well, the reason I'm asking is they might be still there in the town, and Millie might see them, or that monkey might be carrying them off.
Yeah. Do you guys think that's more interesting if the monkey's carrying them? I'm fine.
That gives a clue which Millie can respond to.
Yeah. And monkeys carrying weapons is always worth happening.
I second that one.
Awesome. All right. So yeah, you see this monkey with a bow running along.
As I recognize it, I'll look over to Rukau. I think something's happened to Eula. I don't see her or Dreadwood.
I will have been busy securing any kind of sign of authority that the sheriff had and claiming it for myself. And actually probably going and pinning it on the statue and then moving the statue up to the big stairs and doing that whole showy stuff. So that's why I wasn't able to help with your looking around. So then you'll kind of interrupt and make me aware of that. And oh my. And I'm a little bit caught off guard because I just realized after doing the thing I'd sought to do for a long time against both a dragon and a human lord, I don't actually know how to communicate my deeds to the other side of the sea. So I'm a little bit willing to go along with anything. And she made the plan to finish him off. So yes. Do we have any leads? Did they?
Look at that monkey. Isn't that Eula's bow that monkey's carrying?
Of course, nobody has a spear and a bow like that.
Huh.
A monkey. I was having these dreams. My people with monkey faces. Are there any priests or Nutu people around?
There's no priests or priestesses of Nutu in the square anymore. I mean, there's worshipers. There's people with their face painted with the blue, but
so I'll come close to Millie and say, She wanted us to do this and was going to do something with the sheriff, and now they're all gone. I think something's afoot.
It does seem very suspicious. And I didn't understand that wink she gave us. I'm beginning to have my doubts about her.
Perhaps we should find her. Do we know where the temple is? Is it obvious?
You've been there once before, so you.
Oh, yeah.
That's different than the red stone one that the monkey's heading towards?
Yeah, so it's about, just as a reminder, it's about an hour's hike into the mountain, or into the Red Hills. And as you get there, yeah, you see it carved into the side of one of the stones.
So I guess, yeah, the question would be, Millie, do you think we should head to the temple or follow the monkey? Or is it both the same?
Yeah. Spencer, is it the same temple for both, or?
Yes, it would be the same. Although I'm not sure if Millie knows what direction the temple's in, so she may not understand. Oh no, she pointed the monkey out to you. Yes, it's
Okay. So yeah, we'll just go to the temple, and Millie can decide if it's following the monkey or not.
cool.
Right.
To be 100%
For emotional purposes.
be 100% clear here, you're leaving the rat head and the statue at the Citadel of Sorts.
Well, gosh, I think I had pinned the sheriff's thing on the statue, but now I'm going to take it with me in case anybody gets funny ideas. But I can leave the rat head and the sheriff's head on display. Yes.
Okay.
But with the statue at the City Hall thing.
As you guys are starting to run off, one of the lieutenants grabs your arm and he's like, "What are you kill the sheriff and now you're just off? I thought you were here to rule. I thought you were here to lead us."
We are leading, but we must lead with spirit and with power. I have done it with power, and now I must do diligence at the temple.
We will get the people together. We'll make a celebration out of it. Give us an hour.
Be ready in an hour for great festivities. Did he mean wait?
Yeah. He meant wait,
Oh.
and they'll have a procession go with you. But you can say that.
Oh, got it. No, yeah, excellent. Yes, prepare things. Take your time. We'll be back in an hour. That's not true.
As you say, sir. How much of the coffers should we empty for this? Is it a big one, or are you going to do that later?
Later, make a coronation out of it.
Wonderful.
So small generosities, just whet people's appetites.
We will have food laid out for the masses.
Can I trust you? I'll look him in the eye real close.
Are you trying to use your commanding presence?
No, I'm just trying to make this guy an individual to my mind.
Yeah, you see a bead of sweat come down his face, and he says, "Absolutely, absolutely," and he hand over chest bows to you.
Okay, splendid. I need people that I can trust. Leave my valuables lying around. Okay.
Awesome. So you guys saunter off?
We don't have time to be irresponsible. We got to be murder hobos. This is Dungeon World.
At the very least, have to rescue our comrades.
Yes.
Cool. All right. Let's come back to the two of you. I think the one interesting thing that'll happen. Yeah. So you guys come to a chamber, and you're both put in it. They search Eula for any more weapons. Eula, do you keep any of your weapons hidden, or would they be able to find them if they pat you down?
I think ultimately they'd be able to find any real weapons.
Okay.
I mean, I might have a bone that I use for cleaning my teeth or something like that. They wouldn't recognize as a weapon, but anything real, they'd see it.
Okay. All right, so just just kind of count that out of your gear for now, as well as your rations. They would take your rations from you.
Get your hands off of me!
And the oracle speaks up and she says, Eula, actually, do you have like a title? Would it be like Eula, daughter of something or other? Or?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
In terms of the sort of class structure, yes, I would have, everyone would know who my mother was, but that's not something that would be used in the class structure. But I would be a youth, just at the brink of becoming a separate person. So it's unusual for me to be out wandering on my own. It's because the oracle disappeared that I'm not.
All right, so she says, Eula, give them your weapons. Don't fight. There's no point. I want to know why you're here, but I can't talk to you until you've given up your weapons. And then she looks over at Dreadwin as well, and a few of the priestesses approach you, hands out.
Dreadwin pulls out the only weapon he has, which is a sacrificial dagger. Anyone who with a hint of magic could clearly tell that it's sort of designed with that sort of design in mind. It's clearly not meant for combat.
Mm-hmm.
I have no intent. Yeah.
Yeah.
He simply says, "Can I at least keep this? I have no intention of slitting anyone's throat with it."
I think we'll keep our hands on that. And
all right, he just holds out his hand and drops it in theirs.
Cool. So Eula, with this insistence to calm down, how do you want to respond?
Well, so my hands are bound, right? Behind my back or in front?
They're priests. They probably would have done it in front.
Okay. So in that case, I can use the two hands to get at my hunting knife and my eating knife, and I put them on the ground. But I'm looking at any of the blue-clad priests if they try to come. Don't touch me! But I'm cooperating and getting the stuff off. And you said that not while you said this while I was unconscious, but now that I'm conscious, I think I'm seeing it, that these priests are tattooed up in a similar fashion?
No, so we had established earlier that they paint themselves with kind of blue markings on their face to show their signs of worshipfulness, and the fresher the markings kind of showed the class tiers, like the people with more money had it more freshly painted. So yeah, it's
so the one that Dreadwin saw that had the markings, was not all of it. That's this. Okay.
Yeah, that was the oracle that she had.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So I'm glaring at her, and I guess I would be able to tell that it's really her. She's got all the markings and everything reads correctly. Okay.
All right. So they take all the weapons out of the room, and they bring in chairs for each of you to sit on in the corner. And
are the chairs magical?
The chairs are made out of wood. They look very regular.
No, I can tell if things are magical. Are they magical?
You can tell if a magical effect is occurring, which it is, not on the chairs. There's a magical effect occurring with the oracle. She's looking into the future.
Well, he can't tell what it is, but he can tell if there's a magical effect occurring.
Well, you got a little extra then.
Okay, sure thing. Well, then she knows that, I guess, since I know it's just a normal chair, I'm just going to sit on it. So she saw into the future and realized that Dreadwin was sitting.
Beautiful. She continues to look into the future, and she speaks to you, Dreadwin, and she says, Dreadwin, I can't do anything about that eye of yours. I would like, however, for you to promise something to me. And she holds out her hand, and on her hand there's some symbols that have been drawn in like a chalk.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to agree to not use any of your spells on me or my friends till the next moon passes. So that'll be basically 30 days. Today's the day of the new moon.
Yeah. Dreadwin sits motionless and says, I make no promises. You have what you trust. It's as simple as that.
I trust in my sight, and my sight tells me that you will bring abominations to this temple before nightfall. You will swear, or you will be dealt with now.
Before nightfall, you say? Very well, I will make one promise. I'll promise that I won't bring abominations into this temple by nightfall. So, a day without bringing abominations into the temple. My magic is not singular. I have multiple ways of using it. So, if I say no abominations, I'll simply be doing something else. Not the same, but whatever you're seeing certainly won't happen, and it'll certainly look a lot different.
Okay. So she says, very well then. She whispers to her hand. At this point, her monkey comes back into the room, now on her shoulder, and she reaches out again to you, and she says, clasp and make it so. No abominations in the temple this night.
On one condition.
Go ahead.
You are to give me answers, truthful answers.
I'm listening.
No, he says, holding his hand out, truthful answers.
You must describe more clearly what these answers will be associated with.
Very well. They will be associated with yourself, Nutu, the Sky Monkey, and possibly Prince Eli. Those are the 4 required subjects.
All right, so you are going to roll your a parlay with her because you have leverage here.
The leverage is that I literally could summon monsters by nightfall.
Yeah. The leverage is that she wants you to bind you to that promise.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll your charisma for that.
That is the perfect time to roll 2 6s because literally anything less than 11 would never be a success. I have -1 on charisma.
So she says, I will answer a few of your questions. Bind yourself to your promise.
Show me that you're binding yourself as well.
I mean, so I don't know really how to do that.
She was whispering into her hand.
Yeah, what would you? Oh, sure. So yeah, she'll whisper more into her hand, and then reach it out once more.
Mm-hmm. All right. And then he, Does he know that this is exactly what that's doing?
I think you'd have to investigate that a little more closely. How are you? Yeah, what are you doing to investigate that?
I suppose spout lore would make sense.
Yeah, I want to hear like what you're doing because that is the role that would make the most sense.
So he's more just he is pulling out his books and sort of just like thumbing through them a little bit. By the way, at this point, I'll say it's not the fact that he's reading. He's certainly not reading. It's just the familiar feel of the books that gives him sort of a nostalgic. Reminds him of times when he could read, when he would pull out knowledge, and it sort of puts him at peace in a sense and gives him a sort of zen. So that's sort of how he gets that to spout lore from the books.
Yeah, go ahead and get your roll on the table. I'm going to give you a little bit of dialogue while you get that roll.
Can I interject?
Yeah.
The Oracle is like the most exalted person in Eula's world. So she's kind of cowed by the whole presence of the Oracle. And especially when the monkey comes out, she gasps audibly and sort of recoils, but she's keeping her mouth shut while this whole conversation is going on. But now that Dreadwind's paused and he's pulling out a book, which is this new familiar thing for Eula, she's emboldened to whisper to the Oracle, "Oracle, your people, we need you. You must come back to us. Let us leave now."
Yeah, so while he's looking through his books, you whisper that, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she turns and gives you kind of a scathing look. As much as, yeah, she gives you a scathing look, and she says, "I have a higher purpose now. My people gave me the power, but when somebody more powerful has a use for you, you follow." All right, Ruben, what was Dreadwind's role there?
It was a 9.
All right, so you get something interesting, but not necessarily immediately useful.
Yeah.
All right.
Kind of hard to do with this, though.
Yeah, you know that this kind of binding magic exists, and you know that what it does is if a promise is broken and it's sealed in blood, the person will die. But if a promise is broken and it's not, it's just sealed with chalk, then the person who's broken the promise will be under the power of the one who broke it to you. That was really convoluted. Did it make sense? Did it come out clear?
Yeah, but either way, it sucks.
Yeah.
All right. And so Dreadwind holds his hand out first and just like hesitates for a moment, and then puts it down and says, "How do I know that that's what it says? How do I know that you're not binding me for something else?"
Dreadwind Thorn, torturer of angels, killer of gods. I am losing patience with you. Will you bind yourself or not?
I would if I actually knew that this isn't some kind of trick. I am here trying to be as diplomatic as possible.
All right, let's cut away there back to our friends who are hiking up. I think about this time is when you would arrive at the temple. Now, I don't think Rukau paid enough attention, but Millie, as you approach this temple, you see the cliff face and the carvings and such. You recognize this immediately from the dream or the spell you would cast on the first night. This seems to be prescient, at least.
All right. Do I know, Rukau, if you're particularly good at tracking people? Are you particularly good at tracking people?
I could be if I took a certain hobgoblin move, but otherwise, no.
Oh, okay. Huh. So
no, mostly this whole time I've probably been occupying you with my crisis of not realizing what I do next and not actually wanting to lead humans and how to communicate to my people to come across and all that kind of stuff.
Well, we could find a way to get in touch with your people, and I don't know, I suppose we could set up a figurehead here amongst these humans. Probably we're going to need to figure out what's up with these clerics, however, and I don't know if I want to leave them in charge.
Right. And our Eula and Dreadwind, they are important. They are still important.
Yes, I agree with you. I'm worried why they would come here and what this monkey is. Have you've been here before, haven't you?
Yes, we talked here once.
Did you see one of their central chambers? That's usually where, people are taken.
No. I figured it was like all the other temples.
All right, then. Let's see if we can find them. And I'm going to start thinking of Eula. And as I do, my whip is going to begin moving around me, sort of pulsing with a light as I imagine her in every detail that I can. Blaze, find Eula. And I'm going to attempt to do a spell focus on that.
Awesome.
That last one, by the way, I had to have picked something on the chart, and I did pick temporary with it. But fortunately, we didn't have to worry about it. All right. So, rolling. That's a 9.
Reveal the way forward.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you get to pick this time.
Yeah. Let's pick some fun ones. You're going yeah, your magic's effect is going to be temporary. So it's not going to like guide you turn by turn. And then your spell will affect much more than you had intended.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see that when we cut back to our friends.
All right. So as the whip shows me which way, quick, Rukau, I can't keep her in my head for long, and I'll begin springing forward athletically.
Your whip is like swerving its way ahead of you. You follow it. It makes the full circle around that stone thing in the ground. And Rukau, you start saying words that you don't understand, that you don't know. And suddenly, it starts swirling open, and the stairwell is exposed downwards. I assume you guys are going?
How'd you know how to do that, Rukau?
Leadership is empowering. I don't know.
Yeah. I'll cut my eyes at the first statement, and when you say I don't know, all right, let's go.
Let's hustle. Yes.
Cool. So we'll cut back. The last thing we saw was the Oracle demanding, like, or Dreadwind, you take my hand now, or so help me.
When you saw that vision, you probably thought that the first thing I was going to do at the sign of danger was pull whatever I could think of out. I'm sitting here saying now, I'm willing to take my time. So, if you want to rush, then it'll be on you that things get ugly real quick.
She retracts her hand. The monkey climbs back. Oh no, it didn't go down. Never mind. The monkey on her shoulder whispers something again, and she says, "Yes, the 3 of them." And then it scampers off, and she says,
Wait, what did she say there? Sorry. Yes, something?
Yes. Get 3 of them.
Okay.
And she starts walking out of the room, and she says, "Your friends are here, by the way. And, Dreadwin, you can't do what you do to flesh to stone." And they close the door and lock it, and leave you there alone. What are you guys doing?
Dreadwin, what's going on? What is the monkey doing on her shoulder?
You think I know the answers to this? Why do you think I said that as part of the pact I would want truthful answers from her?
Did she give you any answers?
You were listening, weren't you?
I didn't hear any good answers.
Dreadwin's going to look towards the statues and seeing if they are making any sign of moving.
You guys aren't in that large room. You're in a smaller, separate room with a metal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry, I may have described that poorly.
So we're not tied to the chairs.
Nope.
Dreadwin, are you tied up?
No.
Untie me quickly.
With what? They use leather straps. And I don't have a knife.
Just use your fingers and untie these knots.
Alrighty then. I am not used to untying the knots, but sure thing. Just says that with like just sort of a malaise about it. Like, this isn't his stuff. He goes down and starts.
Oh, go ahead.
He just like bends down a bit and starts untying the knots, but keeps his vigilance around.
I was half wondering if Dreadwin was going to make Eula untie herself with her teeth, you know. All right, let's go back to our other friends. You get downstairs, and you start winding your way through the passages. What are you doing? What are you on the lookout for? What's your strategy here?
Is there dust or any sign of like somebody being dragged or monkey poop or anything that gives us a trail?
Let us say there's monkey poop. I'm not even going to have to roll for that. I like the idea of monkey poop that much.
Is it a maze?
Yeah. I mean, it's a underground cavern that you've never been in. So,
Okay,
yeah,
got it.
it's a maze of sorts. All right, so the monkey poop takes you right down the hall, and then you come to that area where we had described before, where there's these windows into this larger room, and you see what Dreadwin had heard before. Row upon row of clay statues, and one statue sitting at the head, moving, looking around. What do you guys do?
Are they the hobgoblin-faced ones?
They're facing away from you. You'd have to enter the room. Would you guys like to do that?
I don't think I had that vision that you had, Rukal, so I'll leave it open to you here to kind of.
Yeah, I think I would kind of stop you with a hand across like an arm and say, "This is ominous. I feel like I've felt this before. These were not kind, and they had faces of the sky monkey or his minions, not what I expected of my kind." I'm tempted to announce ourselves, because that's always my temptation, unless you, Millie, think that's not a good idea.
No, I think Millie's probably an announce your presence sort of girl too. So yeah. If you're gonna bellow a challenge, I'm all up for it.
Well, so what kind of movement is the moving one doing? Like looking around?
Yeah, he's sitting on a large throne, and he's not doing anything active. He's looking around. He's shifting from side to side. In fact, maybe he even looks bored as much as a giant statue. Bored.
And there's no priests or anything? No other living things?
Yeah, not within sight.
Okay.
there's two entrances. So you guys would have walked by one of the entrances. So if you want to go in, you can backtrack a couple feet and actually just go into the chamber.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, we will march in with ceremony and present ourselves. It is I, Ruka Uktashkula, and Lady Camille. It feels foreign in my mouth and I trip over it. Millie Darren. And we seek Eula, the Amazon, and Dreadwind, the elf. Are they here?
The statue leans forward, looking straight at you. You guys are probably still like 150 yards. Like, this is a very big room. And looking your way, he laughs and he says, "They didn't tell me I had visitors. A warrior and his aide? Come closer, come closer." And as you walk that way, you notice that he has hobgoblin-y features.
I will elbow Millie just because she doesn't like it and say, "Yes, aid me," and snicker.
Yeah, I would have given a look at that when he said it.
Not just any warrior. We are two warriors and the leaders of Alameen, newly won, minted. What do we call them around here, Millie? Chieftain, Alameen warlord.
Oh,
I see you are a warlord yourself.
You have me at that. And when he says that, so did you guys start approaching? Did I hear you right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he says, "You have me at that." And then a monkey runs in the other side of the chamber, and he climbs up onto three of the statues in the back, and he says something into each of their ears, hops to the next three of them, and they turn and start walking out. And then the monkey notices you, and he shrieks, and like scampers out of the room. I can't believe I just did that. The giant statue stands up and he says, "A warlord indeed, but I have hangers on. Necessary evils in this time. Come, let me shake your hand, brother." And he starts walking towards you to meet you. He is 9.5 feet tall or so. You're not quite sure how he's speaking because when you look inside his mouth, it's just stone. He has a black opal set in his chest, and if you look next to his throne, there's a spear with a black opal tip, and several of the soldiers in the front have those same kinds of spears. The rest of them are, just regular looking spears. And you would have noticed this as well. They're all hobgoblin faces. Now let's go back to our other room.
My people, I feel at home, sort of.
Almost.
So you're untied, Eula.
Mhm.
What are the two of you doing? There's nobody in the hall. If you look out, what's your plan?
Well,
So we're locked in though, right?
Yes, you are locked in.
So
And go ahead.
Drenwin does have a sort of idea of what to do. So as he's untying Eula, he's doing two things. He's doing one thing. He's scratching Eula on her arm, sort of with his nails, like sort of lightly, but it's slightly painful. It's slightly painful. Like,
What are you doing, Drenwin?
so do you mind telling me how you feel about the Oracle turning on us?
It's confusing. I almost feel like it's not the Oracle. How could she leave her people? She knows we're the only thing that
She
she
spoke
has. Another power. What is this nonsense?
So how do you think she would feel about you if you were to slay that higher power? Do you think she would be thankful?
Eula pauses in contemplation for a second. Yes! I believe it has power over her. I believe it has taken her. In fact, we know it is. The Sky Monkey took the Oracle. In body and mind now.
And with that, Dreadwind simply says, beware your future, Eula. Let us see what this cell has to offer in terms of protection. And he holds up his hands, looking at the flesh the skin that he took beneath his fingernails from Eula. And he walks over to the door and places his hand on it. And his eye glows, and the skin sort of just starts forming together, bubbling, and literally going through the door. And it's going to look around for sort of a lock and slip inside and start basically screwing with it.
Cool.
Gross.
Yeah, it sounds like a cast a spell.
Definitely.
I'm always surprised at how gross you are able to make everything.
Well, things are about to get even more gross with a failure. So let's see how this can go horribly wrong.
Oh, did you roll a failing?
Yes. So I want to see how unlocking this door goes horribly wrong.
All right, give me a second to think. I think you're going to take -1 forward to, or -1 ongoing to cast a spell till you take rest, like I'm at 7 to 9.
Yep.
The door. As your fleshling is trying to open the door, you hear stone steps, and they come and they smash onto the flesh because it kind of like crawled out of the window, right?
Yeah.
They sever it, and then they just brutalize this door, smash, 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 and then it breaks in. And I will give you the choice, Dreadwind. Do you think Dreadwind would take the brunt of the hit and protect Eula, or do you think you'll both be hit by this door as it flies inwards?
Wait,
Eula's jumping out of the way.
Yeah.
Okay, so then
hearing the footsteps coming down, Eula's intention is to try to get up onto the window, the little protrusion of the window into the room, so that she can jump down onto whoever's coming in the room.
Okay, so you're kind of like slide up next to it.
Yeah, but she might not have time given that the door is flying in. But that's her. She's on the move.
Well, yeah, Dreadwind. Do you think that's fair then? So you'll take the brunt of the damage, and she'll be out of the way.
Sure.
Cool. So Dreadwind, I'll have you take a D12 of damage.
Oh boy. Right, I need a D12. Hold on, let me add that. Just a second. Let's see here. Submit.
Oh, not too bad, not too bad.
4. All right.
All right, so the door flies inwards. It knocks you, kind of sideways. You're still on your feet, and Eula is positioned there as the first of these stone hobgoblins steps into the room, spear pointed at Dreadwind. What are you guys doing?
Well, I guess first I'll let Eula do whatever she wants to, considering she, I sort of got knocked back, and Eula might have been in prime position to do something, I suppose.
When that first statue comes walking in, I will be jumping on it from behind, essentially, up and behind, onto its shoulders, trying to wrestle its spear away from it so that I can use the spear on it.
Awesome. Do you think that's strength?
The wrestling part makes sense for strength. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. What is my strength? It's a mighty 0. Always play to your strengths. A 6. That's it.
Oh,
That's the third fail so far.
Let's cut there for a second. Leave that tension hanging. That's 2 failures in a row. Let's look at our other friends. Yes, Adam, do you have something to say?
I do, yes. You said it was an hour walk. Would that have been time to apply bandages to my wounds?
Sure, yeah, you can use up as many bandages as you feel like.
I mean, they're slow, so I just get 1 use, right?
Yeah. Well, 1 or 2. We can say half an hour each, but yeah, that's
Sure. I'll use them all. So I'm very gloriously bandaged.
All right. Well, last we saw you guys, he was approaching. I believe he said he wanted a handshake. I don't know if that's customary for either of you, but that's the custom he's used to. So he extends his hand. To you. Are either of you going to turn him down?
I will gladly join in participating and belonging in a way that I haven't felt in a long way, but the monkey makes me really wary. I'll pretend like it doesn't, but I think I'll be shifty-eyed and kind of hairs on edge, kind of expecting something to go wrong. I guess maybe discerning realities, even though I'm bad at it.
Yeah, you can do discern reality. So as he's shaking your hand, you're looking around the room and looking out for trouble. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, mostly as I approach, like there's joy, but mixed with like this could be not what I think it is.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Tell me you got that roll on the question.
I think it's paused. So hold on a second. Millie, you can respond. I'm refreshing.
Gotcha. I'm going to. I think stone hobgoblins. I'm going to let you get the first handshake off with, but I'm not. I'm following on behind. But I too was bothered by that monkey, and you say it screamed and ran.
Yeah, screamed and ran out of the room.
Did it go out a different door than we came in, or just scutter past us and running?
Yeah, so there are 2 entrances. You guys came in this one. It came in the other one, woke up the hobgoblins, and walked out.
Gotcha. So I'm going to, I'll be moving with Rukau, but I'm going to kind of be checking over there and planning, I'll let Rukau get off his glad handing with his stone counterpart, but I'm probably pretty anxious to chase after that. I think that has something to do with where Eula is.
Cool. Let's. Do you need aid? It sounds like you guys are both working together on that. Or did you get us? What did you get?
8. So it won't help unless
Okay.
I can get 2. But
Why don't you roll a separate one, Millie?
Alrighty. I am really terrible at it.
yeah,
But I roll boxcars.
Oh, cool. So what's your question first, Rukau?
I think I was going to ask what happened here recently, in the sense of like, why are these here and why is this one awake, and who, like the hangers on and whatever. Just, I guess, what happened here recently.
Cool.
Unless I mean who. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Question. Okay.
So as the statue shakes your hands, he says, I need the help from the monkey, as you see, to bring my army back. And once we are back, I will no longer need his aid. For I am a prince, a noble. And he starts standing up. He looks like he's taller than 9 feet, but still just 9 feet. But I am the Prince Eli, and I have come back to serve the god of the hobgoblins. and to bring glory to this land again. What questions did you have, Millie?
Let's see. What should I be on the lookout for? What here is useful and valuable to me? And what here is not what it appears to be?
All right. What here is not what it appears to be. The spear that he has with the bit made out of the black opal. It is charged with magic, and upon striking a surface, it will turn that surface to stone.
Ooh, okay.
Your other questions were, remind me, what's about to happen?
No, what should I be on the lookout for, and what here is useful or valuable to me?
What you need to be on the lookout for is obviously there is a disagreement and derision between the factions here that are awaking the hobgoblins. If he could just awake them all, they would be awoken. And there's something between the new two, this Sky Monkey, the Oracle, and Prince Eli, that's just not quite lining up. So be on the lookout for that.
Okay.
And the last question again, I keep on forgetting.
That's all right. What here is useful or valuable to me?
What is valuable to you is that the prince at this point genuinely is excited and happy to see the two of you and considers you potential allies.
Okay. I'm going to, because he's just said he's Prince Eli. I'm going to reach into my pocket and bring out that symbol of his family. And Your Grace, we really must find our friends. Here, this is, I believe, yours. But I really must find someone I care about a great deal.
I am grateful. How came you by this? And he, gingerly pulls it out of your hands with his big old stone fingers.
I think I stole it from an elf princess, didn't I? Yeah. It was in the possession of an elven princess. I relieved it from her.
I suppose she's the one who's got my statue, the Triumph of Eli. Oh, it was a beautiful thing. I will help you. Yes.
I believe I have that statue.
You have it? And you are a hobgoblin. Tell me, are you from these lands? Do the hobgoblins still rule any land here?
No, not yet. Except yes, as of today. Yes, as of today.
Mighty deeds of valor, and he pats you on the back. It probably hurts a little bit.
It hurts good.
He claps, and two of the statues that were closest to him, yet to this point not moving, they walk over to you. He says, I will send my guards with you. They will show you the way to your friends if they are here. And you guys have some guards to go out of the room. Are you going to follow them?
I would, yes, and I would be obsequious or whatever, bowing, kind of being honoring.
Good.
When we get a little out of earshot, I'll mention to Rukau that staff, or that spear, it can change people, I believe, to stone. Be careful. He may want you to join his comrades.
Actually, I should clarify. So 2 of his guards that went with you, they have those same tips on their spears.
Oh, okay.
However, the 3 that our other friends are facing off against do not.
Mm.
So you just leapt on the back of the first one, and you're wrestling with him to get this spear out of his hands. He knocks you back against the wall, but the spear comes with it. And as you stab into him, he lunges forward and smashes you with his fist. He's going to essentially die, as much as a statue can die, but that fist is going to deal a d12 of damage and also give you a debility to your strength.
All right, 6 points. And the debility is because of bruising and dislocated shoulder or something like that, right?
Yeah, probably your shoulder got dislocated. That's a good reason.
At least I took him down. They may be made of stone, but they're not unstoppable.
Dreadwind is listening carefully from where stone footsteps, which should be echoing down the hall if there are any more.
Oh, they're in the room with you. There were 3 guards coming, and the other 2 come in right behind this guy. What are you doing, Dreadwind?
So Dreadwind looks at Eula and looks at like basically the big hit she took. And he's going to take more of her flesh this time, the stuff that's been damaged. And he's going to try to wrap it around the golem.
So it sounds like cast a spell, or are you trying to...
It's cast a spell, but it's more than that. He knows that golems are essentially attuned to the stuff that they're made out of. So he's actually trying to sort of mess with it and take control of it, if not confuse it.
So are you trying to bind it, or like gain like mental control so you can command it?
It wouldn't be mental. It's more bind it, I would say.
Okay. So bind it so it won't be able to move because the flesh is wrapped around it.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Go ahead and roll your cast a spell.
I am not doing well, but that still is a 7.
Okay. And you remembered you have the -1 to that?
I had a 3. I -1. I had 2. I rolled a 5. So yes, the maths are in.
Cool. All right. So you will be able to bind up one of them, and the other is going to step forward and grab your arm. So, Eula, you've just killed one of them. The spear is still lodged in his chest, and he's like fallen to the ground. What are you doing?
Well, worse than the damage I took is what Dreadwind just did with my flesh. I mean,
don't worry, it's mostly dead flesh.
So you're to panic and completely lose your mind.
I promise you, it only hurts a little.
It's a sanity check moment. Gosh. Well, I'm no longer. I'm weak. All I can think of is the chair. I struggle to pick it up and smash it over the back of this this thing that's attacking Dreadwind. Maybe I can at least get its attention.
Cool. That sounds like hack and slash to me. Is it better as high danger strength to get its attention?
We'll still do hack and slash.
Okay.
Give it a shot. Hopefully I can bash the... Oh, snake eyes.
You know, this reminds me of that other session where we got only one, I think it was like one failure, one partial success, and like, what, 7, 10 successes? This is like the opposite.
Yeah. I think it's clear the message is that I should be acknowledging that the Oracle is my leader and falling in line.
I think the clear message is that we should be dying, but that's a good segue there.
So as this realization comes to you that you're like, perhaps I should just follow the Oracle, you're smashing the chair over his shoulders. He lets go of Dreadwind and grabs you by the neck and lifts you in the air and crushes your windpipe. I want you to roll I want you to roll last breath.
Okay.
What?
Let's see. It's been a long time since I've done that. Is 2d6?
So it's 2d6.
No
It's
modifiers.
because nobody has anything that affects that, right?
Right.
I think just the cleric does.
Okay, I got a 10.
Okay. So let's. We're going to take a few moments, and we're going to have you see the black gate, and then we will we'll find out how you survive this. So I'll start part of a description. We'll cut to the other people, and then when I come back to you, I want you to finish the vision. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you start to black out, and once everything's completely black, it's suddenly crisp white. And you can tell you're in a room, but you can't see the corners to the room. And appears before you a tall, hooded figure with a skeleton hand that reaches out to you. In his other hand, he has a scythe, probably 12 feet tall, this scythe. And in the hand, a vision begins to open to you, and he says, "Eula, won't you come rest with me?" And so we'll have you describe to us what you see in this short vision, and then how you come back to life after almost passing the black gates. All right, let's go to our other friends. The statues are leading you down winding hallways, and you pass by one hallway, and you hear shouting and leaping out, not at the statues, but at you guys, are priests with sacrificial daggers, and they're just running headlong at you. You have a moment to react. They're not on top of you yet. What do you do?
I think I look at Rukal and sort of smile. I mean, this is our bread and butter here. This is kind of, well, this is being big damn heroes right here. Look to see if you're wanting to charge forward or you want me to catch them coming in.
I mean, if they're charging at us with daggers, I would just set my spear in classic hobgoblin fashion, especially if the guys along with us are hobgoblins. I would expect them to naturally do the Sparta kind of thing. And so I probably would just react that way to receive them if they really want to fight us. I don't understand what's going on factionally, so I won't declare them an enemy unless they make me bleed.
Okay. Yeah, so you get down in your position. Did I hear you right? Are you kind of like kneeling down, or are you still standing to receive?
I mean, you just set the spear against your leg or your foot so that they'll run into it. So yeah, kind of like the Braveheart line with the spears against horses, but they don't have horses.
Yeah, the one that was charging in the front just impales himself and drops the dagger and falls flat. The other one turns and begins to flee, and you could see beyond them in the room that there's a fight going on between a woman, an older woman in blue robes, and the deer woman, Alana, and they're
fighting each other.
Yeah, they're shouting at each other. They're not like punching or anything. And the monkey is there, kind of in between them, but facing you, and he's like, jumping. You know the scene in Jumanji with the monkeys jumping? It's like that. And he has a few other priests near him. What do you guys do?
Did the stone things do anything different when the charge happened to us?
No, they just halted and are standing at attention there.
Okay. Millie, I don't like that monkey. I don't know what's up with the stone things. I'm pretty happy with them at the moment, but everybody needs to calm down. I think the monkey's the least calm among us.
Okay. I think I'm, feeling pretty pissed off at these people for having taken Eula, and that seems like something of a betrayal. So I think I'm going to be walking into that room where they're fighting, and I'm going to just kind of casually backhand over the whip to attempt to wrap up that monkey and sort of go crack with the monkey in the whip and say, "Where is Eula?" And what happens to the monkey from that may be unfortunate.
All right. So are you actually attacking the monkey, or are you intimidating?
Attacking the monkey seems awfully bad, but I don't trust this. I'm trying to intimidate is what I'm trying to do. So I'm not really like trying to kill the monkey, but I am slamming it against the ground pretty hard in this intimidation.
Cool. Let's have you roll Defy Danger with Charisma.
All right. I am not great at it, but I'm not horrible. I rolled a 9. That gives me a 10.
All right. All the priests and priestesses that were near the monkey, they just like scatter, and some of them are shouting to Alana, "Mistress, mistress, they're here! They found us! They're with the creatures!" And the monkey begins to charge at you, running, leaping in the air. What are you doing?
So, I mean, I was set on attacking the monkey. So if it's going to come at me, then I will gladly like bat it down and, I don't know, try to stab it. If it's a little monkey, like a shoulder monkey.
Yep, yeah, like a little spider monkey.
So I'll try to splatter it if possible.
All right, let's get a hack and slash. And are you guys going to be attacking this thing together? Do you want to aid here? Or
I'm sure it's just a monkey, right? So I'm just kidding.
Well, like I say, I had at one point, you know, had kind of slammed it to the ground to to give the intimidation effect. So I'm probably, if it's leaping towards Rukal, I have to think he can beat up a little monkey. So I'm still sort of concentrating on the two ladies there who I think have kidnapped my friends.
Is the one obviously Amazonian?
Yes. Let's resolve the hack and slash, and then Tyler, I apologize. I didn't give you the full fiction. I should have given you a little bit more first, but
cool.
Let's do that hack and slash, and then we'll give you the rest of your move. I just got so excited about the monkey leaping at you. You're muted.
9. Although if I can level up, I would make it a 10, but 9 is okay. Let's see what it does.
Yeah, go ahead and roll your damage.
Six.
All right. Yeah, so you like you said, you slam it into the ground, and it like shudders there for a moment, but its tail was wrapped around your spear, and your spear just gets yanked out of your hand, and the monkey laughs at you. All right. Now, so you've gotten the attention of the women at the front of the room, and the oracle says, "We must do it now. We must do it now. See, we will all be overcome." And Alana says, "It's not necessary. The sheriff is dead. We have control of the town." And she starts to turn and walk towards you, Millie. And she says, "I'm so sorry. I should have been more honest with you." Let's.
Yes, you should have.
Let's check with Eula real quick. Eula, what kind of weapon would the oracle be trained with?
Well, in my experience, personal experience, the oracle didn't fight. But legend may tell of her using, her hands. Maybe a kind of crouching tiger, hidden monkey. So, monk fighting.
All right, so as Alana starts apologizing to you, Millie, she shudders and she falls to the ground, and there's just a knife sticking out of her back, and the oracle standing there. And the oracle shouts to the monkey, "Now! Get them all now!"
That ain't good.
Let's cut to the other room. All right, so Eula, let's hear the rest of your vision here.
Yeah, so we're in this white room, and there's this vision forming in the center of it, and inside the vision, it's white as well, but it's like the swamp with the white mist. Everything is monochrome. And you can see various sort of scenes of Amazon life, this camaraderie and community in the true sense. And the oracle is at the center of that. But as the vision goes on, it's sort of like a rotten spot in an apple forming, or maybe a piece of paper with a burn starting to form in the middle of it, right where the oracle is, as she is somehow corrupted. There's little wisps, maybe like strings being pulled, or thin arms reaching down, manipulating her. It's hard to tell in the vision. And forming around the sides of the vision are all the ancestors, all the women who've come before, the young women who've died and the old women swirling around, just their faces, looking at what's going on. And suddenly, instead of the oracle being in the center, Eula's in the center of this, with all of the ancestors looking down. What are you going to do about this, essentially? And you can see sort of the continent or the local countryside forming in the vision, and all the other Amazons who've gone off in different directions looking for the oracle all of a sudden turn to look toward the center of this, right where Eula is, and she realizes that it's not time to go to beyond the gates and rest. There's work to be done, and the Amazons' very life depends upon seeing this through. And at that, she pops out of it, I guess.
Yeah, at that you once again find yourself with a stone statue holding you in the air. Beautiful, thank you. Let's hear from Dreadwind. You've got one of these creatures tangled up, statues, I should say. The other is lifted to your friend in the air. What are you doing?
At this point, I think I'm going to try to sort of conjure something to break apart the statue, have it start crumbling around. Sort of like little, how should I describe them? Think about like little sort of fluffy pom-pom kind of things, but like just they have sort of a, you know how worms have like a circle of teeth? Like it's sort of like that. And they just come out in droves and just start.
They just start nom-nom-nom-nom-nomming him.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. That sounds like a
Cast a spell.
Black magic to me.
Oh yeah, black magic. Yeah. Yeah. All right, that's 9 + 2. That's a 10. And oh, I forgot my tags. Damn it. Let me look at my tags real quick.
Yeah,
I know I already have the range tag under wraps.
Yeah, you're fine.
I think what's appropriate is piercing 2 is a tag I can choose that's appropriate, and messy as well. Both of those seem pretty appropriate.
Cool.
For what I was trying to do.
And then go ahead and roll your damage, which is D8.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and the D4 for messy.
Yep. Let me submit a D4, damn it. Hold on. First, I gotta submit a D4, of course.
You're fine.
All right. Submit. That's a 4. And then roll D8. This is D8 correct? Let me just double check. Yes. It's a 2. So that's 6, 2 piercing.
Cool. Yeah, so...
and it's messy, so...
it's gonna. So I'll tell you the result. You tell me what it looks like. It's gonna end up like one-armed and one-legged. It's still like moving, but not so much. You tell me how that.
So the arm that it falls off is actually the one grabbing Eula. So she sort of collapses down as the arm is still just wrapped around her neck, sort of. And one of the legs also comes off, and it sort of teeters for a moment, and then just falls to the side, holding itself up with its other arm.
Yeah, it
So
keeps
it's
on
sort of,
trying to right itself, but it's way
it's
off.
not really in a fighting position, and it's actually only going to get worse as the bugs keep going.
Cool. All right, so you guys have one basically immobile on the ground, would have to crawl real quick to get you if you run, and then the other that's tangled up. What do you guys want to do?
I think it's time to blow this joint. I'm just going to say that right now.
Yeah. Oh, and Eula, I just realized, help me, Tyler, have you played Dungeon World a bit? Do you know when they go to the Black Gate and they come back, do they start with a set amount of HP?
There is something about that, but I cannot remember to save my life. For some reason, I want to think they come back with like 1.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, if Adam, if you can, I'd appreciate you looking that up.
I've played Dungeon World a long time, and I've never seen that rule for whatever reason. I've never seen what amount of HP. I would say,
I'm not sure,
but I do have an idea.
Well, let's see if there's a rule about it, but I want to see what you are doing in this room first.
Okay.
So Eula, you just came back to life with this revelation. What are you doing? Oh, you're muted.
Yeah. I clicked right next to the microphone. I still have this thing clamped around my neck. First step is to struggle to get it off of me, but the instinct is to seek out the oracle and the monkey and wreak havoc in some way. So getting out of this room and to wherever those two.
So you just start running out of the room then, and Dreadwind, you'd probably be able to help because you were conscious as you went through.
Mm-hmm.
You want to lead the way back the same direction that you came from?
Yeah, I would say so.
Cool. All right, so it'll take you guys a few minutes to find everybody else. Last we saw, the monkey was laughing at Rukal, just taking the spirit. Yeah.
One more thing. If Eula does come back with 2 low HP, to be comfortable, I do have 2 healing potions that I'm willing to share.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, we'll keep that. You know what? Let me take a second and see if I can find it in my rules.
I'm looking at it right now, and it does not. I don't see. It's page 72 in the main book. Unless they speak about it somewhere else, there isn't an HP amount. What it says in particular, the character has cheated death in some meaningful way. He's escaped with something that, by rights, isn't his anymore. Death is powerless to stop this, but he remembers the slight. And you've cheated death. You're in a bad spot, but you're still alive.
Okay. Let's make let's make that bad spot an extra d6 of damage. So 2, so that brings you down to 13. So if you want to take one of Dreadwind's potions, you guys can talk about it in chat, and we'll move back to the other characters.
Was it 2 she took?
Oh, did I see that wrong?
You're muted. It was 6.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm definitely giving you a healing potion after that. So just bump it up by 10.
Cool.
So I have 1 left, but I did give 1 to you.
Thanks for looking at that, guys. Okay, so let's take a look at Rukau, because I think this is the critical juncture here. Rukau, you're facing off against a monkey who just yanked a spear out of your hand. Here's the order to run and begins to try and run around you. What are you doing?
So the monkey's trying to escape?
Yep, he's coming. He's trying to get through that doorway you just entered.
Okay. One other thing I saw is that death is usually annoyed with you when you get a 10+, but I think that's not in the move itself. It's on the page. But anyway, let's see. I will. Can I use my adventuring gear that I've never used before and pull out a rope and try to follow after Millie and whip it? And possibly, I don't think I'm good enough with a rope to like lasso it, but I can at least maybe smack it like a wet towel into the wall and then catch up to it.
Sure. Yeah. Let's see your dexterity roll to knock it down so you can catch up to it.
I'm a little alarmed at the stabbing of Alana by the other Amazon, but I'll deal with the monkey first. So that is a 7 + 0, 7.
Cool. So you will be able to knock it down and get to it. I'm trying to
mostly. I was hoping to stall it enough that I could catch up and then just like grab it, I guess, or jump on it.
So let's make this the hard choice then. You can either grab a hold of it and have a firm grip, but it will be able to bite you, or you can get close enough to take another action in a minute, like you're blocking its exit. Again, you reposition.
Yeah, I think I would like to grab it and let it bite me. I'm sure it's an absolutely normal monkey.
I'm sure monkeys that laugh and pull spears out of your hands with tails are always.
And I forgot, I have the setup strike, so when I did hack and slash last time, I can choose an ally, and I'll pick Millie because she's the only one there. Their next attack against the monkey deals +1d4 damage.
Oh, beautiful. Cool. So as it sinks its teeth in you, I want you to roll with your Constitution.
Okay.
And I'll let you know what happens after that.
All right. This is the time to fail. My first fail. So that's 4, 5, 6.
Woo. Okay. So you are going to be, for moments, you're going to see a vision of the sky monkey, and in the vision, he's very playfully, "I told you I was coming for you, and now I'm going to get your friends too." And by the time you come back to, the monkey is running down the hall.
Okay.
All right, let's see. Millie, you just saw somebody stabbed in the back, quite literally. What are you doing?
Lady, I think we have a problem. If you've hurt one hair on... Oh, what the hell. I think I'm going to kill you without even knowing. And whoop, I'm just going to whip across at her and try and... I'm cutting that whip to where I could try and cut her neck. I'm not really calling shot on her, but I'm definitely going for a lethal strike.
Awesome.
So, hack and slash?
Yes, sorry. I should have said that. Yes.
All right. 11, 12, 13.
Sweet. You will be able to kill her outright if that's what you want, or you can strike in such a way that she's bleeding on the ground for Eula to meet up with her. What do you want to do?
Oh, it's far better to have Eula able to meet up with her. I've also got to get that last bit of information of where Eula is so I can try and get her out. So slashing across, I'm going to, have gashed her pretty good, I hope. It's scintillating lights and it has, tracers behind it as it comes across. And as it slashes into her, I'm going to leap forward. Where is Eula?
She's gasping for breath, and she says, I knew you were the one who would kill me. I knew it. Eula's dead. That I have also foreseen.
Oh.
And then within a few moments, cowering priests and priestesses around the room, you hear footfalls behind you, Millie, and around the corner comes Dreadwin and Eula. What are you? I'm thinking probably Eula's the most interesting one to zoom in on at this point. What are you doing?
So Eula sees the Oracle on the ground. She sees Millie there. The Oracle's obviously not a threat. It's the monkey that was pulling the Oracle's strings. Even if the Oracle is completely beyond hope, it's the monkey that's the real problem. So Eula is charging toward the monkey, pulling out a lock from her belt of her mother's hair and holding it forth and saying, This is a symbol of the Amazons. Monkey, you must run. You must beg for your life. Leave the Amazons. And I'm casting a spell of cause fear. Choose a target you see, the monkey, and a nearby object, the hare. The target is afraid of the object. So long as you maintain the spell, their reaction is up to them. They can flee, panic, beg, or fight. And that's mostly it. How it works on a supernatural creature, who knows?
Let's have your cast a spell roll there with your wisdom.
All right, I got a 7 plus 2 is 9.
Cool. So you can forget the spell, put yourself in a spot, or take -1 on going to spellcaster.
I will forget the spell. I don't need any more of it. The monkey is the only one that needs to be.
Yeah. The monkey looks over its shoulder and shrieks again and darts around the corner. Do you want to have a scene with the Oracle, or should we fast forward to what the monkey's doing?
Yeah, let's do that. I bring the hair back to the Oracle and stand over her. This is the power of the Amazons. Why did you forsake it? What did you see in that trickster god?
It is no trick, Eula. The Sky Monkey. He's the most powerful one. The most worthwhile. I had to follow my truth. My truth was with him. The tribe would never accomplish anything. But look at what we have accomplished. And as you cast your eyes around the room, you see a dead priest, cowering people, a woman with a knife in her back, and blood sprayed from the Oracle's throat. Look at what we have done. It will be glorious, Eula.
Yes, I see the blood pulsing from her throat. I put my foot on her chest and raise my arms to the sky and utter the Amazon cry as I am crushing down on her chest, pushing the last of the blood out of her neck. You have accomplished nothing. You have scattered the tribe.
And we hear a pop as her sternum goes, and she's dead. At this time, you hear Stone's footsteps behind you. And one of the ones that was guiding you earlier, Rukow, speaks to you and he says, "Come, swear fealty. Now is the time."
Oh, you did. I will look at my companions and say, Eli is one of us. He is my tribe. If he has not fallen to the monkey, then he is good for us to serve. Come, let us serve the true king of these parts. And I'll invite them.
Is anybody not going to follow?
If the monkey's still lurking around, he needs to be dealt with. But if he's completely run off,
yeah, he's nowhere nearby. So
I'm not so sure Eli's the best person to be following. I'm looking around the group and over at Rukow, and I recognize that, he's, this is one of his kind, sort of, in a stone variation. But this guy has a reputation for being pretty horrible. And Rukow, I don't think I don't think there are any heroes here for us to follow.
Well, you wouldn't fight him. You've seen his army. Perhaps tyrants are just what they call those who are, I don't know, misunderstood rulers.
Drebin, you saying anything at this point?
I came here because I said I would help you on this journey. If this is where our paths end, then so be it. I choose not to follow Eli, but I choose not to oppose him either.
Mercy will be shown to those who show weakness. Mercy will be shown.
Then I will check with Eula. Eula, the Oracle said you are dead, but you are definitely not. You seem to be supernatural and worthy of position of honor in this new land and new kingdom. If you can assure me that the Sky Monkey's meddlings are done here, I will trust your word. So he's basically asking for one more affirmation from Eula because of the magic thing he doesn't understand, and then he's going to go whether anybody else wants to or not.
Yeah. What do you say, Eula? Oh, you're saying things, but we don't know what it is. We can't hear you.
Here I had this great speech.
Oh.
Sorry. Yeah, so I stagger over to you, Rukow, and fall to my knees, obviously weak. Master Rukow, you go with your people. Bring your people from the far seas and rule. Make sure that Eli rules well. I have a higher calling. I must gather my people back together and undo the damage done by the monkey and the Oracle. And I look back at Millie. Millie, do you fancy traveling the world together, or do you sit here ruling as the lady of these lands?
I think that as you say this, I sort of, and we've got the tromp of feet coming and all that sort of thing.
Well, yeah, these two guards are waiting for a few moments for you guys to say whether you're coming to swear fealty or not.
All right, and we're in the temple. I have at least a vague idea of like the walls out, I suppose.
Yeah, you'd probably be able to trace your steps out.
Well, I'm really just wanting a beeline for out as I kind of open my arm towards Eula to come with me. And Rukau, good luck, but I am not bending my knee to a stone tyrant. And whip my whip out, and as it hits the wall, it begins spinning, and I'll start opening up a passage for Eula and I to bug the fuck out.
Dreadwin, are you following that way, or are you going to meet with Eli first?
I'm not going to follow. I'll go out the entrance.
So then I guess we'll do a very quick scene with Rukau here, and then we'll kind of epilogue what everybody else is doing. So Rukau, you come into the room where all these statues were held, and they're all moving now, and they all turn to look at you as you walk by, and smashed under his foot, and he's still standing on it, is that monkey.
Yes.
And he says to you, "Great warrior Rukau Dashkula, swear your fealty to me, and great honor will be yours."
I will do the proper things to swear fealty, and then announce that I have his statue in Alamein, as well as the foothold of his first lands in this countryside, and that we should fetch our cousins, and all will be well, and the world will be green and red with our enemies' bloods.
Messengers will be sent. A great day! And the stone statues all, hoorah, 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 banging their spears against shield, and we leave with them in a clamor. All right, let's kind of fast forward with the rest of you guys. Are any of you going to try and take the loot that you had previously gained?
I guess Dreadwin's literally the only one there, so he'll loot the place after realizing everyone's literally gone. The monkey's gone, the oracle's gone.
Oh, you mean you're gonna loot the temple?
Yeah.
Cool.
Like literally, no one's there. The previous owners have been evicted or killed. All the statues that were supposed to be worshipped literally walked out the front door. And
yeah, I'll send you a message with what you can find in the temple on your way out. That sounds great.
All right.
How about Eula and Millie? Are you guys going to try and lay claim to the statue of Eli?
I don't want the statue of Eli.
I wasn't planning on taking that either. I imagine that's Rukau's.
Cool. Are you doing anything else? Because you're going to have to pass through the town. Are you doing anything else before you leave town?
If kind of just as we're getting out, I know we're wanting to do a fast forward. I'll look at Eula and maybe even have that the sunset sort of moment as we're there together. If that's cool with you, Eula, as I say, where to next? And I'll do a whip crack, and I'm going to hopefully would do a spell focus, and I'm going to just split a seam using that to teleport us off wherever she wants to go.
Awesome. Well, we've got, I think they said there were, I don't know, I can't remember what number I said, 100, 200 Amazons all scattered around. Each one needs to be collected, and adventures. I'm sure that sometimes we'll have falling outs, and sometimes we'll be back in. I don't know where long-term leads, but I think there's a lot of adventure to be had. And I'll take your hand as we walk into that crack that you've made with the whip.
Lovely. Awesome. Well, that was a very satisfying ending. Yeah, I think the only last scene that I'll do is you see Eli and his stone soldiers in the courtyard where the sheriff was killed, standing there, and people not so sure about how happy they are with you anymore, Rukau. But they're standing there. They won't leave because they're surrounded by stone statues. We kind of lost track, and I apologize. We lost track of the mice people. Do you think they went? Do you think they would go to as you guys passed through town? Would they wait for Rukow, or do you think they went with any of the three of you?
I'll bet you they were preparing the feast that the soldier was talking about. They're like, we're gonna make the best snacks for Rukow. I'll bet he'll like mine. No, he'll like mine.
So is that the consensus? They waited around for him?
Agreed.
Yeah, I think so.
I kind of like the combination of big impervious stone things plus this little like honor guard of minute weaklings that are living. They're soft. They're not hard. They're little softies.
Awesome. Well, cool. Thank you guys so much for this campaign. It's been so much fun. I think we'll do keys. Dreadwind, you've got a game with me next session, next month, so we'll do keys on our own afterwards. Does anybody else want to just highlight any keys or things that happened this session that they really enjoyed?
By the way, am I supposed to do my epilogue now, or?
Yes, I'm sorry, I skipped you. What are you doing?
Yeah. So Dreadwind is sort of just he's there in sort of just an empty room. Just you can hear the bustle of town around him. He has his books. One in particular, the one he's been writing about, with the crust of the crude drawings of the monsters, and he just bangs his fist on the table and is just like, it's not enough. Maybe 50, 100 years, this, and he smiles and just starts laughing himself. It'll be all right. Everyone will know eventually. The more they know, the better we'll be prepared. I wonder, what will they say about it? And he thinks about it, thinks about what's in his eye, and he leaves it off of that. Just sort of his own mumblings and frustrations.
Awesome. All right. Yeah, if we don't have any keys that we want to highlight before the cameras go off, then we'll just shut them off and do a Roses and Thorns afterwards. Cool. Well, bye, any viewers, and